Nice. What's up guys, my name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the SPTA Cordless 15mm Polisher. So guys, I actually had a live feed, and this official video is also going to have a lot of information about this polisher here. But I'm gonna make this video as a dedicated review video for this polisher so we can cut right to the chase. Now I'm working on this vehicle. I'm doing an extensive paint enhancement. So it's in between a full paint correction and paint enhancement. I'm going a little bit extra in some areas because we have some water spots on this side. The other side was great. It was actually really easy to polish. It came out beautiful. And we're just using M205 and the orange Lake Country pad on the polisher. I'm gonna kick it up to the Eurofiber pad because I do need to tackle some heavier stuff here. And we're going to use 3D1 and see if that can cut some of these water spots down. It's on the glass too, and it's coming out okay on the glass. But let's talk about the polisher. So this little guy here is under $200 on Amazon. It is their cordless polisher. It's a 15mm throw, so like the Rupes polisher and many other different 15mm throw polishers. So I'm gonna go through some of the pros and cons. Let's talk about the pros first. First things first, the polisher looks really nice. It's actually an awesome design. The balance and weight are perfect. The weight of the battery offsets the weight of the head here, and where you hold it with the trigger, it just feels really good in the hand. The structure of it feels very sturdy. And the material on it, you know, it feels like pretty good high-grade plastic. And even around the grip here, it's not just plastic. This is actually rubberized, and around here is rubberized also. So when you're holding it, the little rubber gripping here does hold your hand firmly to it. It's not slippery plastic, which is nice. It does have the trigger and the trigger lock here. It does come with 2 batteries, and this kit comes with a bunch of different pads, which I'm going to be using those later on and showing you guys what they can do. I love my Lake Country pads. The pads that it came with are actually very good too, and I'll show you what those pads can do on the panel here. So all in all, it works very well. It's actually pretty torquey, and it doesn't vibrate. It doesn't feel chintzy or cheap when you're using it. Let me give you an example of the 3 different speeds on here. It only comes with 3 speeds, and it doesn't have a speed dial. It has this little semi-digital readout here, which we'll talk about in a second. But here's one of the speeds. When you click it, it actually turns on the little dial here, and I'll show you the little battery and modes. Here's the low speed. Then it goes up, and that's the highest. Very well balanced. Really well balanced. It feels good on the paint, and when we're working around curved areas, it stalls just as much as the Rupes does. But if you angle it just right around those areas and you don't put pressure, you'll still get the continuous spin, which is really good. So this actually does very good on curvy panels. This Jeep is full of curvy panels and little dips into the fender here and into the door that this thing works very well around. It still spins. And even when you put pressure on it, it still spins. So that's a pro. That is a plus. The machine has got a lot of power to it. Would I call this a pro machine? No, it's not a pro machine, but for a beginner or for just a quick cordless polisher to do some light polishing or wax or sealant application, perfect. This is, I'm gonna have to say, kind of a must-have for mobile detailers. This is gonna save you so much because it's gonna save you time for one thing, and gas for the pressure washer. If you're doing an exterior only detail and you're using your pressure washer or whatever you use, you wash, you do all your prepping, and you don't have to start the generator just to apply wax or do a light polish or apply your sealant if you use a machine like I do. So this thing is quick. I'm just going to take it right off its little polishing rack, slap a nice soft foam pad on it, whatever liquid wax or sealant I'm using, and get right to work. And I will fly around the vehicle quickly with this thing and not have to worry about losing juice at all. Here are some of the cons. For one thing, I would definitely suggest to SPTA to include more batteries. It comes with 2 batteries and 1 single charger. For professionals, they're gonna want more. I know this isn't the pro level machine. It could be so much more. I see a lot of potential in this little guy, and if it came with 3 batteries and a double charger, so you're charging 2 batteries at once, working on one, that way you can really use this machine extensively. So extra batteries would be nice. And this thing clicks into here very, very sturdy with no vibrating, nothing weird at all. It just fits. Here's another con. If you look at the little dial here, you have to press the trigger once to activate the dial, but you have the battery meter here, so green, yellow, and red, and then you have your speeds, 1, 2, and 3. And 1 is the highest, 3 is the lowest. I don't understand that, but whatever, that's okay. And you do have to press this little on and off button to activate the speed. So you press the trigger, it turns on, and then you can scroll through the different speeds. And you can do that while it's on. So that's okay. You can do that on the fly. But I would prefer a dial. Even if it's 3 speeds, even if that's all you can do, then put a dial up here or put the digital readout up here. And don't make it a chintzy sticker. That's not good. That will quickly wear off, and I don't want to peel it. I don't know what's underneath. I don't want to ruin it. It really should be either a solid piece of clear plexiglass or clear plastic with the little, logos on there with the little lettering and dials, or it should be up here. Even if it's here, that's fine. Just improve that. Don't make it a sticker. Make that a nice solid piece of plastic so that it's waterproof, doesn't wear off, because I can see that button is going to wear off very, very easily because you have to keep pressing it. Other than that, I am very impressed with it. It works extremely well. So let me give you guys a little live demo. Not live. Let me give you a demonstration of what this can do. Now I'm going to cut with it, and I haven't cut with this machine yet. I've been using that orange pad and doing an extensive paint enhancement, so I haven't been actually cutting with it. So I'm going to throw on the Euro fiber. Look how nice that looks. And a little bit of 3D1, and I'm going to attack this panel here because it does have some pretty heavy water spotting. So let me show you what it looks like. So I just lightly polished this, but it still has some water spotting in it. So we still have a few little water spots around the handle here, and it's a little bit throughout the paint. It's not that bad. I actually did a really good job of removing those. It's on the glass here, definitely. So let's hit the glass, but I'll also hit the paint here and get a little closer to the door handle here. Even with that machine, with that pad, I can actually get pretty close to here and cut all around it. So let's show you that. So I have the pad ready, and I just love that there's no cord. It's so nice. And I'm going to set it on, okay, low speed first. And I'm gonna bump it up. And then I'll put it to the lowest, and lightly polish. And look how well balanced this machine is. You can really fly with it. It's nice and I would say fairly light. It's so well balanced and fairly light. You know, you don't have the weight of the cord throwing you off. I just really like that. It's just a very nice machine to work with. Feels really good in the hands. It actually feels like a pro level machine. So that was 3D1, and this paint is a little bit finicky. May not like a heavy compound on a cutting pad. Yeah, it definitely marred it, but that's okay. We'll remove that with the next step. How close did I get? Not too bad. I can probably get a little bit closer up in the top here. Some guys are going to look at that and say, oh, you should tape that. It's not a big deal. You're not doing any damage to that at all. You can feather it and finesse the polisher just close enough so that that throw of the pad is just into that edge there, and it's not hitting the actual handle and damaging anything. Not bad. Let's take you in and show you what it looks like. So now it's hazy, right? But I got close enough to get those spots out. Looks really, really good. There's a little bit extra there, but that kind of starts to dip into the handle here, so I really can't get in there too tight. But for what it is, it actually did a really good job. You can see it's hazy, so it cuts really well, but even trying to finish it, this paint is a little finicky. So I have to grab the orange pad and use 205 with the machine, and it will be great. So let's test it on the glass and see if we can get this cleared up. So again, I'm going to use 3D Uno. Wow. 3D Uno. I used to use that. 3D1. So 3D1 definitely has some long work time, but it definitely is oily also, and that can kind of be a deterrent. That can be annoying. However, you're working on glass, and you can be a little bit more aggressive wiping the product, but I'm going to be polishing all of this anyway, so not worried about that for now. But yeah, water spots are gone. You're just left with, it's just residue. If I throw some glass cleaner on there, it'll go away. But let's see if I can focus in on the glass itself. Oh, there we go. So it did a really good job. The water spots were lightened dramatically. Now, you can see this on the camera. You can't really see it with the naked eye. It's really difficult to see it. The camera brings it out because it's so sensitive. It made a huge improvement on the glass. So guys, I am so happy with this little guy, with this little polisher. Again, is it super pro level? No. Is it the Rupes killer? It could be. If they upgraded certain things on this, it would be pretty impressive. Again, I know it would draw the price up, you know, improve triggers, improve the digital readout, put extra batteries in it. Those are the only things I can think of because it works so well. Now the longevity of the polisher, I just started using it today and I am putting it through its paces. I am using it heavily on this job. I haven't even used the Rupes polisher yet and I'm almost done. I just have these two doors in the top of the roof to do and wiping it down and ceramic coating it. I'm using this thing exclusively on this and it's making me very happy because it's cordless. Love it. And I like that it's small. I mean, look how small it is, very compact. If you own a high-end shop, are you gonna go and get this? No, probably not. If you own a high-end shop, why are you watching me? You know, these are designed for entry level or for guys like me. I mean, I've been doing paint corrections for 6+ years, but I still love machines like this because I want things that work and that are cordless. I'm so sick of cords. So I'm hoping that more companies will be able to, you know, make cordless polishers like this. But for 200 bucks, half the price or more, this thing is a beast. I'm loving it. I'm gonna use this. You're gonna see this a lot in the videos, and I'm gonna use it on my mobile jobs for wax and sealant application and for paint enhancements. I'll use this thing until I kill it, and we'll see the longevity of it. We'll see how long it really lasts. But I can say right now that I'm really loving it, and it's just such a nice polisher. So if you wanna get your hands on this, check out the link down below. I will have the link to this. I'm also gonna be using the other pads. Now, talking about the pads, these are actually quite substantial. They are not just cheesy, cheap pads. When you really look at the quality of them, I'm impressed. Check out the shape of them for one thing. These are actually cut really well. So even the foam itself, the density of it, it feels really good quality. The backing plate is actually very substantial. It doesn't feel chintzy or cheap. These pads do not feel cheap to me. They feel just as good, dare I say, almost better than these. And I love Lake Country. Love Lake Country. I also love Buff and Shine. I've been using their pads for years. Let's see what this can do. It does have the center hole, so you can actually center it up. There we go. So that actually looks really nice. Look at that nice beveled head. Even this backing plate is pretty substantial. It feels really good. So not a fan of the texture here with the diamond, you know, textured thing, kind of like the CCS pads. I guess I understand the idea behind it. It's supposed to run cooler, but I don't really care. I just like flat pads. So let's give it a whirl. I'm gonna apply some 205. Now you might be saying, prime the pad. I don't need to do that. Don't worry about it. Once you do a couple of sections, it's going to prime the pad enough. It's not a big deal. I'm not into wasting product like that. The results speak for themselves. First, coffee. If you want to pick up some mugs, I have one similar to this, not exactly like this, but similar to this, down on the merch shelf below, so check it out. Or if you want to pick up some other merchandise, I got glossy logo shirts, Mr. shirts, a Mr. pillow, iPhone cases, Samsung cases, all sorts of cool stuff. So there's a little bit of water spotting, a little bit of hazing and swirls, nothing too dramatic down here. This should really clean up nicely. I'm going to work around this edge here too. I know you might want to use a smaller pad or a 3-inch or something like that. We'll see how well it does around these curves. Okay. And let's just do this little edge, and you just finesse it just enough and angle it just enough so you still get that spin. Not bad. So it did really well even around here. You know, you angle it just enough, just right, so that that spinning action still continues. And you can do that with any of those machines anyway. Just learn how to finesse the polisher and angle it just right so that it can get into those little valleys of the panel. That did an excellent job. So the quality of the foam, I feel, is very close to the Lake Country. It's a little bit more open cell for the orange. The green one is actually a little bit firmer and would actually do really well for heavier compounding. I'm not going to use this right now because I really don't need to. This is actually doing a really good job. I like that it came with three. It actually came with four of them. It came with the orange, the green, and the red. The red one is for wax application or sealant. I would say the green one, definitely a heavy cut. This is right in the middle, more for polishing like we're doing now. And the red, of course, for wax and sealant. It also came with like a wool face one, not microfiber, but more of a wool face. On the same type of backing like this, it's like a foam backing with that wool face. And that's for like really, really heavy cutting. I mean, those pads are pretty nice. And this, the finish on it is amazing. So let me show you what it did. So that's the finish. Super crisp and clear. I'm going to take it off autofocus and manually focus so you can see how well it really did. There's little tiny little spider webbing swirls in there, but that's not a big deal. This is just a major paint enhancement. I don't want to attack those swirls too much. If you want to check out the full video to this, I will have it up soon. If it's not already, it'll be up in the card over there. I don't want to overcut the panel. If it looks like this in here with these high-powered lights, you're not going to see tiny little hairline scratches or little tiny swirls like that out in the daylight. You will not see it unless you really get up close in crazy angles. But walking around the vehicle, you're never going to see that. It looks so good, so nice and crisp. So I'm really happy with this finish. Usually try to gauge my paint corrections is you really have to hunt to find any of the defects that may be left. So guys, so far, I'm super happy with this polisher and happy with the pads. All right, guys, so my final thoughts on the machine. I am very happy with it. Am I super impressed with it? No, because there are some things that they can work on, like that little digital readout display, and definitely add some extra batteries. I would suggest at least 3 batteries with a double charging pack. That would actually make this thing really awesome. But overall, the usability of it is great. It's awesome for mobile detailers, for wax and sealant application, or light polishing. Paint enhancements, I think, are going to be the most that this machine can handle, especially with the battery life. The battery life wasn't horrible. Again, it's cordless. You're going to run out of juice at some point. So I got about a half hour-ish on each battery. I was taking my time around the vehicle and still using this pretty heavily. And I used up about 3 batteries. That's not bad. Of course, it didn't have 3 batteries. I mean, it's 2 batteries, but I used the equivalent of 3 batteries on it. Not too bad. Again, the ergonomics of the machine, I think, are excellent, well balanced. I like the size of it. It's small. I would love to see them improve on it. But if not, it's a great entry-level polisher for any beginner or for any person like me that's been doing paint corrections for a number of years. I just wanted something cordless that I can buzz around the vehicle polishing, not necessarily cutting and polishing. If you were to do a full paint correction with this machine, you'd run out of juice way too fast. That's why you need more batteries, and that charger charges pretty quick. It should be a little bit faster. If SPTA made those improvements, they do make it 21mm, a larger one, and if they were to make a force rotation cordless, I'm sure they're working on it, that would be amazing. I would love to try out those machines also. But for now, this did a great job polishing this black Jeep. So guys, if you want to check it out for yourself, I'll put the links down below, and I'll put a link to all the other polishers that SPTA offers. If I'm really happy with this one, I'm sure their other ones are great. I do have their little mini rotary with the extension polishing pen that goes down to about a 1/2 inch little polishing pad, which is pretty cool. But again, that's rotary, so you got to deal with a little bit of the rotary buffer trails that you do end up with, but you can quickly get rid of those with a 3-inch polisher and work around those little areas, or even hand polish those little areas. But I'll do another video on that little rotary polisher with that extension polishing wand. It's actually pretty cool, and you can get into a lot of little tight spaces. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like it, share it with others who may enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell. That way you get notifications each time these videos drop each week and you don't miss stuff. And you might notice I have a little join button down there next to the subscribe button. And that's basically to join as a member, and you get these little special perks. But you're not missing anything if you don't join. It's basically like when you used to buy those limited edition DVDs with extras and commentary and behind the scenes. That's all it is. It's nothing that special. It's nothing that I'm going to hide from this channel and put onto there and you have to pay for it. That's not what it is. It's just for extras and behind the scenes, just fun stuff that I film extra and put into there if you want to join. But if you don't, it doesn't make a difference. I don't really care, and you're not really going to be missing that much. So again, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.